So here's the question I get a lot. How much does it cost to cut down a tree? Today, I'm gonna, Matt, my buddy who runs a tree service, he's had 15 years experience, has over $1 million worth of equipment. He's gonna come out, I'll talk to him, we'll go over how much it costs to actually cut down a tree, give you a better feel on what you can expect, and then I got some cool footage of them doing some tree work. So here we go. Morning. My life is kind of complicated right now. I got a lot going on, so I was going to put a whole bunch of stuff on one video. I'm going to break it up into 3 different videos. First video is how much does it cost to cut a tree. The next video is going to be us winterizing the garden. 4 videos. Then I've got a fish stocking video. They're going to come stock my pond again, my annual stocking. And then I've got a trench video where we're going to be trenching power, water, and that big huge solar line in case we put solar panels on that. So I got a bunch of stuff. I really couldn't decide until I had the cabin in place what trees need to be cut, but I figured this would be a great time. It's always fun to watch them cut trees, but how much does it actually cost to cut down a tree? So Matt, I've known Matt for years. He does most of my big tree jobs. I also have a small guy that does smaller jobs. So I'll talk to him and will explain what it costs to actually cut down a tree. I'll show you. Basically, he's got sitting out here $500,000 worth of equipment, and we'll talk about the equipment that he uses, how much it costs, and then we'll cut down some trees and we'll go from there. Again, the next video, winterizing the garden, trenching video, fish stocking. I got a bunch of stuff. So, all right. So this is Matt with Porterfield. Sorry for the noise in the background, but we were just talking about the cost. How much does it cost to cut a tree? Now, as an example, and immediately he said, it depends on the equipment and manpower. That's what it's all about. So what you see right here, all this equipment right here, probably what? How much did you guess? If you had to buy that all new, how much would that be?
The bucket truck's about $275,000, the chipper's $120,000, and the new chip truck's right around $130,000.
Okay, so almost $500,000.
Yeah.
So you got $500,000 with equipment, you got guys, you got liability insurance, you got workman's comp insurance, you got all that stuff adding up. So just to wake up the crew and get the equipment here, you're talking $500 to $1,000 just to get this equipment and manpower here fired up.
Yeah.
So if I had a big tree, so let's say, see that big tree right behind the chipper right there? If I had a big tree like that, what would that cost me?
It's gonna start anywhere from around $2,400, maybe going up to $3,000 or $4,000. So
$2,400, $3,000, and that's a massive, massive tree, by the way. So Matt, also, you guys offer a day rate, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
So if you want, so I used him on one of my big projects, and basically he's billing me he said it's cheaper on a day rate. If he comes out here, spends the whole day, has a whole crew, all the equipment, it's about what, $5,000 a day?
Yep, that's right.
About $5,000 a day. So, and they can move some stuff in a day.
Yeah, we can.
They were out here and they took out a ton of trees. I had them here for 2 or 3 days and they just wiped out trees. So there's a reason why having a good tree cutter costs money. I mean, it just costs money. Just to show up on site, people don't realize just to show up on site, it costs money.
That's right. It does, Doc.
So anyways, we were sitting here talking and I was like, why don't I have a camera on? But we were talking about cost of trees. Now, I don't know if you can get a perspective, but you see that tree, that's probably one of the biggest trees on my property. That's a massive tree, all this equipment, all this manpower. You're talking about $3,000 to take that down. And then I pointed at this one over here, which is still a good sized tree, but it's not as big, probably about $2,000. I mean, some of that cost, we were just talking about it, a lot of that cost is just getting here on site. waking up your guys, making sure you got a crew, getting all your equipment here. It doesn't pay to come out and cut a tree for $500. That doesn't work. The math just doesn't work when you've got all this liability and all these costs. So if you're going to use a larger professional tree company, there's a reason why you're going to pay more. Like, I'll give you an example. Down at the beach house, we have palm trees trimmed, and they charge about $70 a tree when they trim my palm trees. And I have about 15 different palm trees. But let me tell you what, man, you talk about a long, laborious day. I don't know how they do it for that much. I really don't. I don't know how they do it that cheap. Because they're out there half a day just sweating. There's 4 guys. I'm like, dude, that's the best, that's the most affordable shit I pay for, is having palm trees trimmed. And then there's rats. While they're trimming all the trees, rats jump out of the tree at them. Like, one guy had a rat jump in his bucket. And they're so used to it. They're so used to it, like, oh, well. I'd be out of that bucket, man.
I would. I bet you would, Doc.
So, if you don't know, Matt's the owner of Porterfield Tree, and he's been doing this how many years?
15 now.
15 years. And he does the majority of all my tree work. Like I said, I've got my yard guy, my front yard guy, he does tree work as well. So if I have some small stuff, I'm gonna call him, because I don't need all this equipment. And he'll come out and he'll probably do, 2 or 3 little trees for about $800. But that's him climbing a tree with ropes, using a pickup truck and a small little chipper. He doesn't have the equipment, he doesn't have the manpower. Yeah. So, but when you need real tree done, call a pro. Oh, so this is that 224 cable that I have to trench in. Man, that thing is massive. That 4 lines is actually 1 cable. I gotta run up and check these fields real quick. Alright, so in one of my next videos coming up, we're gonna be showing how we winterize this garden. Right now, they're up here hacking down all this old produce and all these plants. We're taking all this old produce and we're not wasting it. Anything that was in here, any plant life, we're taking it and we're putting it into a new compost pile with wood chips and dirt booster. And then we'll let that sit all winter. We're about to rework this garden. We're gonna winterize it. I'll show you how you do that. Hit that subscribe button. But I'll tell you what, finally we have a rain event moving in, supposedly Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be so happy. I'm so tired of watering, but because of my irrigation systems, all my wildlife has these big green fields out here. We're pumping pond water 450 feet up to these fields. And if you didn't watch the lime video, we had a truck come through and put 14,000 pounds of lime on all these fields up here. But this, You can literally see where we don't irrigate. It's all dead brown. Where we do the irrigation, it's just super lush and green. So this is what the deer are in here eating right here. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Oh no, I'm gonna get wet. Run, Doc, run. Oh man. I'll be so happy when I don't have to run irrigation anymore. This has been a horrible 3 months for drought and trying to keep things alive. Anyways, so the reason why I had Matt and his crew come out is because we had, oh, I'm gonna get wet again. It's cold. So the reason why I had Matt and his crew come out, because I had to wait really until I had this thing in place to see what limbs and trees might potentially fall on this. So there was 1, 2, 3 small trees, and then I forget what these type of trees are, these massive trees here, but they have a tendency on the fork, the limb that's not a straight fork has a tendency to snap off, which happened over here. So I had him take that one big one that was leaning towards here, had him take that off. So hit subscribe because I'm exhausted. After this was all going on, and I had to run irrigation pumps, and then we're up in the garden. We're actually winterizing that garden. We'll be back out here tomorrow too. Hit subscribe. On Thursday I got fish coming that we're going to stock that pond again. I do it annually. And what else? We got that trenching video coming up next week. I'm going to be putting down some winter overseed, bunch of stuff. Don't miss them. Hit subscribe. Turn on that little stupid bell thing too for YouTube. And while you're at it, smash that like button, dude. I never ask you guys to do that, so hit that like button if you want to keep seeing these darn videos. Later, Doc.